All right, Power Missouri, we're here with Missouri offensive lineman commitment Jack Lange. Just got done with a jamboree, so it's nice to hit other people besides your teammates, right?
Yeah, I've been going against the same guys for 3 weeks, so it was nice to put the pads on, hit somebody else. So.
Yeah, talk about you're in your senior season, and just kind of talk about that first. Like, what are some things you kind of been working on this off season, and kind of what do you think you're better at coming into your senior season than the previous years?
Yeah, definitely. The biggest thing has just been putting on weight, just getting a lot stronger in the weight room, and then just refining my technique and just getting a lot better at pass pro and just a lot more physical at run blocking.
Yeah.
And I think it's starting to pay off. I felt like today was a pretty good showcase a little bit. Obviously I didn't play too much, but I think for next week against Howell, I think I'm ready to go get after it and get on the field. But yeah, I think just being a senior year, as a captain, I think just being in that role of like being able to lead my team and just being in that leadership role it's huge for me. And I've grown up around this program since I was I've lived in Eureka since I was in kindergarten. So just growing up and finally being able to be one of the captains, it's huge for me, and I'm really ready and honored to take on that role.
Yeah, that's cool. Like I said, you're part of a big class in Missouri 2025. Just talk about that, your impressions of your class at Missouri and just kind of your relationships with those other guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think this class that we have right now is huge. I'm very excited that we have all the guys that we want, and maybe we could even get a couple more. But yeah, I know I talked to Matt a bunch. Me and him have a streak on Snapchat together. I talked to a bunch of the local St. Louis guys a whole bunch. Jason Dowell, me and him talk a bunch, and then Lamont. I hit him up every now and again. I know he's busy with his own stuff too. And then I'm still trying to recruit as much people as I can. So I was hitting up Andrew Babaloa literally last night. But yeah, that would be huge if we got him. But yeah, I mean, I think that we have a shot to do something really great at Missouri with this class that we have building right now, and I'm very excited for the future.
Yeah, I mean, you've been committed for quite a while. Just talk about your relationship with the staff and how that's going and everything.
Yeah, I mean, the staff's great. They haven't really let up on the recruiting. They've always been keeping in touch weekly. Coach Jones is always hitting my line. Coach Abercrombie, he's always talking to me. They always try to get me on Facetime with Drink every now and again. But yeah, I mean, the recruiting hasn't slowed down since I've committed, and that's really huge for me because I know I've heard a lot of stories of guys who commit and then the recruiting falls off and they either decommit or go somewhere else. But for Mizzou, it's not like that. So the staff's been nothing but great, and I have nothing but nice things to say about them.
Yeah. You brought it up. I gotta say, what are FaceTimes with Drink looks like?
They're interesting, but yeah, I mean, a lot of people see him as this big flashy guy on Twitter, but I mean, he's really just a really personable guy, and he's really low key when it's just one-on-one. He's a really good person to talk to.
Yeah. Talk about your relationship with Coach Jones. You mentioned him too. What does he, what does he like about you, your skill set and everything like that, which kind of brings to the table? And what do you like about his personality too?
Yeah, for me, he definitely likes just my physicality off the ball, just my speed that I play at, and then also just how long I am, and that's my wingspan, and I have good reach. And I mean, Coach Jones, he's a great guy. He's he's a very in-person guy. He doesn't really, he doesn't text that much because he knows that I have stuff going on too. So he doesn't want to be blowing up my phone every 4 seconds because he has his own life to live and I have my own life to live. But I mean, whenever we do talk, it's about football, but it's also just about just life and just how we're doing as people. So that was a really big part for me too.
Yeah, obviously big season expected for Missouri coming up. How many home games going to be at?
Yeah, I'm going to try to get to all of them. I can't go to the first one because that's the same day we play. Yeah. But I'm planning on being at every home game besides Murray State.
Yeah, gotcha. Sounds good. I'll ask you too, you've been up there, a lot of times at Missouri. Talk about relationships with current players that you have. That you talk to. Do you talk to any of those guys kind of frequently or have relationships with those guys?
Yeah, I talk to a lot of their O-linemen, specifically Mitch Walters, Connor Tolson, but yeah, I mean, those guys, they're great. I haven't really talked to them outside of just when I've been up there, but I mean, yeah, it's been nice just to get a relationship now instead of having to wait and kind of walk into it blind.
Right.
I remember I've been making fun of Brent Norfleet because he plays at Francis Howell, and it's just
the rivalry.
Yeah, he was saying that they're gonna beat us up, but yeah, it's just fun to just joke around with those guys.
Yeah, obviously. Just talk to you, get a little bit more football background from you? Like what year? How old were you when you started playing, and when did you kind of know you were going to be really good at football?
Yeah, I started playing around 4th grade, and I've been at offensive line ever since I can remember. I haven't really played any other positions. I was always kind of a bigger kid.
Yeah.
But I mean, when I started to think I was really good was probably end of my sophomore year, because I was backing up an all-state left tackle, Justin Selbert. He's at Princeton right now.
Mm-hmm.
He blew out his ACL in one of the playoff games. It was one of our first playoff games, and I had to fill in for him. I was kind of thrown into the fire, and I had to mature really quickly. And then we played MICDS. I went against Lucas Alliger, a big margin of that game, so it was a good competition. I think I held my own pretty well. But yeah, I think ever since that, I just kind of wanted to get recognition out, just kind of see what I could do at camps and stuff. So that summer, I just went to a bunch of camps, put my name on the map, and yeah, I mean, I haven't really. I think I always have stuff to work on and stuff to improve on. I don't think I'm nearly as good as I can be right now.
Right.
But I think if I start saying I'm all this and that, then I think ego can get in the way, and I just want to stay as humble as I can, because if I get a huge ego and start hyping myself up like that, then I'm just gonna fail and crumble miserably. So
yeah. I'll ask you too. Either Saturdays or Sundays, college or NFL, what are some players you kind of like to watch and emulate your game after?
Yeah, I really like to watch. I mean, every time an NFL game's on, I just study their tackles. It doesn't really matter who they are. So, but I mean, Trent Williams, I'm looking at, Lane Johnson, Armand Membu. So I think he's at Mizzou. That's good to watch him. I watch Will Campbell at LSU. Just those guys like that. I watch Joel a lot. 'Cause I feel like we have similar builds going into college.
Yeah.
So it's just good to emulate that. And I mean, I just kind of pick and pull apart pieces of their game that I think I can emulate, and then just try to mash it all together.
Yeah, sounds good. And last thing before we go, just a message to the Missouri fans out there.
I'm excited for the senior season, and gonna get work done this year. And after that, I'm ready to come to Columbia and get started.
All right, sounds good, Jack. Appreciate it.